Call the meeting to order. Call the roll.
Trustee Healy. Here. Trustee Katsinas.
Here.
Trustee Milani.
Here.
Trustee Compass.
Here.
Trustee Reardon.
Here.
Trustee Radishevsky. Here. Mayor Pico.
Here. Glad we could find Trustee Healy.
Please rise for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item is approval of the January 20th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
I move to approve the meetings of the Board of Trustee meeting of January 20th, 2025.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radishevsky.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Do we have any non-scheduled citizens and visitors for agenda-specific public comment?
Anyone here for agenda items that didn't sign in? Okay.
Hearing none. Accounts payable January 21st, 2025 through February 3rd, 2025. Approval.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy.
I move to approve the accounts payable January 21, 2025 through February 3rd, 2025 in the amount of $4,861,575.49.
Second. Call the roll.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Radishevsky.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Consent agenda.
Item A, payroll for January 17, 2025, approval. Item B, a resolution authorizing the participation in the Northern Illinois Municipal Electric Collaborative NIMAC bid process and authorizing the village manager to approve a contract for street lighting and commercial accounts with the lowest cost electricity. Item C, ESRI GIS software annual license renewal. D, Orland Park Health and Fitness Center LED conversion project. E, ITB 25-002 CPAC Pool Chemicals 2025 contract award. F, ITB 25003 generator transfer switch and UPS maintenance contract award. G, ITB 25005 playground safety surfacing installation contract award. H, Police Public Works and Recreation vehicle purchases. I, 2025 Road Improvement Program Construction Management Award. J, Rock Salt Purchase Proposal. K, ITB 24-066, 2025 Asphalt Pavement Patching Rejection. Item L, Police Law Institute 3-year subscription to the Illinois Monthly Legal Update Purchase History. M, Census USA Advanced Metering Infrastructure AMI Software as Service Agreement. N, Reciprocal Reporting System Law Enforcement Access to School District Digital Security Cameras and Buildings Intergovernmental Agreement between the Village of Orland Park and the Board of Education of Kirby School District 140. O, donation of personal property ballistic blocks owned by the Village of Orland Park, Illinois to the Village of Matson Police Department Ordinance. I'll entertain a motion to approve items A through H and J through O of the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman. Second.
So who moved it?
So moved.
Thank you. Trustee Milani moved it. Can I have a second?
Second.
And Trustee Reardon second.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to amend the motion to items A through H, J, and L through O.
Okay. So we're striking item K as well? Okay.
K and I, yes.
All right. All right, so do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so for the consent agenda, items A through H, J, and L through O. Call the roll.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Radishevsky.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
ITB 24-065, 2025 Asphalt Parking Lot and Path Maintenance Bid Award.
We got to do I first.
Yeah, I and the other one, right?
I and K.
Someone's going to have to abstain, I think, to vote. That's why we.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought we were leaving it out for some reason.
No, we still have to do I.
Okay.
And
So
K.
we're
I
throwing
and K.
you a curveball. So we'll
No,
do
that-
I
that's-
and K, because people can't- they can't abstain, so they have to abstain.
I've got you. All right, so, item I, 2025 Road Improvement Program Construction Management Award.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
move to approve the waiver of the competitive bid process and approve and authorize the execution of a professional services agreement between the Village of Orland Park and HR Green Incorporated as the lowest qualified responsive solicited proposal for the 2025 Neighborhood Road Improvement Program construction management for a total not to exceed contract price of $320,000, and authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review.
Second.
Sorry.
Whoops. Are there any other comments that we didn't make at the cow? Did anyone second it? Yeah, I thought so. So, motion by trustee Compass, seconded by trustee Katsinas. Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
No.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Okay. Item K, ITB 24-066, 2025 Asphalt Pavement Patching Rejection.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee
I
Reardon.
move to reject all bids received in response to ITB 24-066-2025 asphalt pavement patching.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
I abstain due to a family relationship with a non-awarded bidder.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. All right.
Try that again.
Are you safe with that?
I don't know. Watch your eyes.
Cover up.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Now, correcting. ITB 24-065, 2025 Asphalt Parking Lot and Path Maintenance Bid Award.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Reardon.
I move to approve and authorize the execution of a contractor agreement between the Village of Orland Park and McGill Construction LLC of Frankfort, Illinois as the lowest cost qualified responsive bidder for ITB 24-065, 2025 asphalt parking lot and path maintenance for a total not to exceed $422,777.30, which is made up of $322,777.30 plus a $100,000 contingency, and authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review, and allow the village manager to approve change orders not to exceed the contingency amount.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Reardon.
$100,000 contingency on a $400,000 project seems a tad bit high. Is there a reason for that big of a?
We didn't know about those parking lot areas at the time of the bidding. We knew there were going to be some parking, but we're solidifying the list. And that's why we'll know exact quantities. It's a quantity contract for
Okay.
those areas.
Have we worked with this contractor before?
Yes,
Okay, so we're
several years.
confident, even though we have that large of a contingency, they're a good contractor. We're not going to be coming back over and over again.
No,
It's per unit price, right?
it's a unit price, so we won't go over the exceeding
And
it.
it's below the budget, right?
It is correct.
Thank you. So there's a reasonable chance that at the end of the year, we'll probably expand it to the budget amount anyways and do more, potentially. I mean, there's always a chance we'll do that,
Yeah, we'll try to use as much as possible because we always got
because we have plenty to do.
plenty to do.
Yep. Always. All right, any other comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
I abstain due to a family relationship with an employee of a non-awarded bidder.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Special use residential planned development estates at Ravinia Meadow.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
regarding case number 2024/0676, also known as Estates at Ravinia Meadows, I move to approve the Plan Commission action for this case. And I move to adopt an ordinance entitled Ordinance Granting a Special Use Plan Development Permit with Modifications, Estate at Ravinia Meadows by Pulte at 16100 Ravinia Avenue.
Second.
Is there a presentation?
Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. My name is Fabian Fondriest. I'm with Pulte Homes. I'm very excited to be here tonight to present Pulte's new proposed community, Estates of Ravinia Meadow. So a little bit about Pulte. We're the nation's third largest home builder. We have operations in 25 states. In Illinois, we have 20 active communities. In 2023, the Illinois division closed over 700 homes. In 24, we closed over 900 homes. And we're excited to potentially continue that growth here in Orland Park moving forward. This would be a return to Orland Park for us. We opened Southmore in 2003. That's the green dot on the map on the bottom right of your screen there. The star is Estates of Ravinia Meadow. So it would be a nice return to a great community. Looking at the zoning and aerial of the site, our location is the 72 acres just off of the southwest corner of 159th and LaGrange. Our access points are Ravinia to the north, 165th Street to the south. As you can see, the site is currently vacant with the exception of a few existing tree lines. I'll get back to that in a future slide. And the current underlying zone is R3, which is the same zoning that we're proposing for our community. Looking at the comp plan, this is also an area that the village designated and noted and envisioned as a residential area. The comp plan called for R3 and R4 zoning. Again, our proposal is entirely R3 zoning. One other note, at this comp plan, there is a plan for a future traffic connection from Ravinia to 165th. As you'll see in our site plan, we do have access points off Ravinia and 165th, so you can get from Ravinia to 165th through our community. So this is Estates at Ravinia Meadow. It's 132 single-family detached lots. Our net density is 2.36 units per net buildable acre. Per code, we're allowed up to 2.5 units per net buildable acre, so we're coming in slightly with lower density than what we're allowed by right for R3. Our minimum lot size, our smallest lot, is 10,004 square feet. The lot area requirement, the floor, is 10,000 square feet, so we match that, but our average lot size is actually slightly larger, closer to 12,000 square feet, with our largest lot being over 26,000 square feet. Lastly, the open space. Under R3 zoning, for a proposal of this density, we would be required to have 3.3 acres of open space. We're proposing over 14 acres in this case across this community. There's a few other highlights I'd like to note. The first one is the playground on the west side of our property. As you can see, we're going to be dedicating just over 3/4 of an acre to playground space. So Pulte will work with staff, we'll design a playground, Pulte will then build that playground, and then we will dedicate it back over to the village. Additionally, the second note, the tree preservation. So when we were looking at that aerial, I mentioned the existing tree lines on the site. We designed a site plan that worked around the contours of the existing trees on the property. Creates 3 nice pockets there, as you can see, where the trees are. We will also be planting some additional trees on top of that. But we wanted to design a layout that worked around the contours of the site and had minimal impact to the existing vegetation on the property. The last note is the public trails. We're going to be offering just over a mile of public trails across this community. It connects from our heavily treed central outlot. You can walk to the playground. You can then continue south, walk around our open water detention, walk next to the existing wetlands, and exit out to 165th. Conversely, you could enter from 165th because this will be an HOA-owned and maintained walking trail. Certainly will be open to the entire public. So anybody in Orland, anybody in the community can come and walk this trail. Moving on to our products. So at Estates of Ravinia Meadow, we're going to be offering 7 different floor plans. Their starting square footages are between 2,600 to 3,400 square feet. I say starting because with Pulte, we offer a semi-customization home buying process. So folks come in, they select a floor plan, and then they have structural upgrades that they can select from. Things such as a sunroom, a living room extension, as you can see, third-car garage options with select floor plans. By no means is that the extent of what we offer, but just gives you an idea of the variety of the type of options that we offer our home buyers. On the third-car garage, just as I noted it up here, you can see all of our floor plans come standard 2-car garage. We do offer a third-car garage for 5 of our plans, and all 132 of our lots are designed to be wide enough to accommodate a third-car garage, should a home buyer choose that, and still fit within the setback limits per R3 zoning. Lastly, the elevations. You can see we offer a variety of elevations across each floor plan. And so with the floor plans, 7 floor plans, various structural upgrades you can offer, various elevations you have, and then we also have a variety of color packages. The end result is quite a few different permutations of home design you can have, and the finished product ends up being a nice, diverse array of home products throughout our communities. The next few slides I'll go through quickly. What these are is the elevations. I know in your package are in black and white. I selected one elevation from each of the 7 floor plans and then have a color rendering next to it just so you can see what those black and white images look like if you were to walk through a Pulte community today. So I'll go through these quickly. Again, it's going to be 7 of these images. The first 2 are Greenfield and our Hilltop. These are our floor plans that start around 2,600, 2,900 square feet. Our Riverton and our Westchester, those start around 3,100, 3,300 square feet. Same for our Willwood and our Woodside, roughly starting bases of 3,100, 3,300 square feet. Oh. And then finally our Castleton, which is just under 3,400 square feet. The next few slides, then I'll wrap up, address the comments that were raised last month at the Planning Commission. We want to acknowledge those that were raised by our neighbors and address those head on to make sure they understand and the village understands we heard what they mentioned last month. It's particularly around the Costco detention basin and around traffic. So the first one, looking at the detention basin, the Costco detention basin, this is the existing topography of our site. So as you can see, the high point is that red mark. Rainfall flows from our high point and travels north, it travels to the west, or it travels south. This map illustrates that a little bit better. So you can see we have about 20 acres that flows up north to the Costco, 7 acres that flows to the west to the Catholic Cemetery, and then about 42 acres that travels south, that drains to the south. Some of those 42 acres too, you can see that green line at the eastern perimeter and southern perimeter. It actually goes off of our site. So there are property outside of our boundary that drains across our property into Marley Creek. And this is what we're proposing here. This is our drainage proposal. So you can see it's just 2 drainage directions. No longer is anything going to the west of our site. It's either draining to the north or draining to the south. And in the red, which is on the southern edge, you can see we're still accounting for the existing rainfall that comes from off our site. We're still accounting for that, and that drains into our detentions to the south and then distributes from there. The focal point last month, though, was on the blue area, everything draining up to the Costco area. As you can see that table on the left side of your screen there, what that shows is what is allowed in that detention basin per the agreement, the 20-ish-year-old agreement that Costco made with the current owner, the Catholic Church was the current owner of that time, and then also what we're proposing. And so what you can see here is that the agreement allows for just over 20 acres to drain into that Costco pond, of which 15 acres can be impervious. So that's your rooftops, your roads, your sidewalks, your driveways. What we're proposing is just under 19 acres that would drain, 18.97 acres that would drain to the north. However, we're only proposing 9.1 acres of impervious surface. And that's also maxed out. So what I mean by that is if every home buyer in the blue area selected a floor plan configuration and maxed out their lot coverage as allowed by code, that would total 9.1 acres. So in the maximum situation, we would still be well under what was agreed to of those 15 acres by that original agreement. One other note just on this, since last month's planning commission meeting, we've reached out to Costco, we've spoken with Costco, they actually have a representative here, they're looking into it, and they've assured us that by the time we would go to open, if we were to get approvals here and then final engineering approvals, this pond would be, if it's not already, working to allow us to tap into and support as per the original agreement. So they've been great, very responsive, and will be good partners in this moving forward.
Yeah, they've got 125 homes that are going to shop there. I can't imagine they're going to hate that.
The next slides, and then I'll wrap up here around the traffic. And so, oops, jumping ahead of myself here. So this is the existing corner. You can see 159th LaGrange. I highlight the stoplights, the stop signs. Our site superimposed, you can see with the access points off Ravinia and 165th. And then the majority of the comments from last month came from our neighbors, our future neighbors, highlighted in the yellow. Their homes are in that yellow box. They were particularly concerned with traffic through their portion of the road of 97th, which I highlighted with that neon green line. So the portion of 97th north of 163rd. And so there was just quite a few comments about how our traffic, our
They
community
were
was
worried about
gonna change.
ATVs going through the PD's lot and getting into their road?
That didn't come up. I don't have a study on that
I'm
one,
not
but
exactly sure how I can see the people from that subdivision getting there into their neighborhood. I do realize that Ravinia will extend through at some point, but again, why would the people from that neighborhood go into that neighborhood just to, add another 2 or 3 blocks and go around them? It makes no sense to me.
and I'll expedite this. You're teeing me up well for my next few slides here. The next slide, I got a heavy thumb, and
It's not a lot.
it's not going to be a lot.
125 or 132 homes, not a lot of traffic.
Yep. So with that, I'll stop here. I appreciate your time. As you can see, our entire team here is with me tonight. We're here to answer any questions you have, but we're really excited at the thought of potentially coming back to Orland Park.
Thanks. Any questions?
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
all these plans that you're building there, they're all two-story style homes, correct?
Correct.
There's no option for any ranch, no?
There's no ranch right now, no.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments, questions?
Mr. Mayor, just
Mr.
more
Reed.
curiosity, are there rules on how many of the same model you can have, like on a block? I mean, I know as a homeowner, you'd probably be like, all right, what's going in there?
Certainly, yeah. So we do have our own anti-monotony code that we follow anyway, and then also as we permit each lot individually, we'll work with staff to make sure that there is a variety and diversity of product for our community.
Yeah, we have an anti-monotony as well. We probably dropped the ball a little bit on that on Orland Ridge. Actually, we maybe not necessarily dropped it. They just didn't build to what they agreed to.
We're paying
We're
attention
aware.
this time, yeah. I'm not saying anything was wrong or right the last time, but for single-family homes, basically based off the choices that they make of where they place one, a particular model that dictates what is available to be placed across the street, next door, and then within the houses around that. So we will have a map up on the wall, keeping track of every single house and the model and the front that's put on it, and the colors.
Also, because we'll get asked, impact on schools in terms of,
I mean, the way I look at it is it's 125 homes, and they're down 10% in from their
Enrollment.
peak enrollment, and they've added to all their schools. So I'm thinking that even if you had 2 kids per school, you still wouldn't get up to your max enrollment.
two kids per household.
2 kids per household going to one school district, which
Yeah.
is highly unlikely, since they'll be different ages.
Right.
And it won't all have kids, right? So, yeah, I think the school will be able to absorb it. Of course, they'll scream that they can't, but it's like, well, how much do we need our enrollment to go down before your schools can handle what they used to handle?
Just bringing it up.
I know.
Mr. Mayor, I
But
am-
you know exactly, I'm preaching to the choir, I know.
And I give you a chance to, say that.
It's to say
so.
that, yeah, thank you.
Can I just piggyback on?
Sure, Joni.
What
Or Trustee
Kassian
Rashevsky.
said? So you mentioned that there were no options for ranch homes, and I guarantee my phone, if it's not blowing up right now, it will be by the end of the night. People are going to be asking, and, as to why they want ranch homes to come to Orland Park. And so we have developers who come and they have these different models, but ranches are not an option, but it's really what the people that are here in Orland or want to move to Orland, what they're looking for. Is there a reason why you're not proposing any ranch homes when there's such a high demand?
It's, when we were looking at the market and we were assessing the market, we saw an opportunity for two-story homes. However, with Pulte, we certainly offer a variety of product types, and we do offer ranches. In this case, we wouldn't do it here, but there's a lot of other sites that I have in mind. I'm on the acquisition side of Pulte that I would love to potentially plant another Pulte flag, and could certainly keep ranches in mind for those.
Please do, thank
Yeah.
you.
So to the point on ranches, yeah, I mean, obviously, we know that there's a lot of, particularly the demographics sitting here, that when they downsize, they want to go to ranches or whatever, and older than us that want to go to ranches. We hear that all the time, and we know that there's a market for it. I know Waterford Point did ranches. A lot of the ranches are doing duplex ranches because people don't want to maintain their yards and that type of thing. And we've seen a ton of those. I mean, you've seen tall grass, you've seen cobblestone, and then you've got Waterford Point. So we've had a lot of ranches go in. But you know, it's nice to see, in my opinion, just a single family, whether it's ranch or two-story, it's nice to see that coming into the town, because we haven't had a solely single-family development for a while. It's single, you know, and it's always been townhomes and duplexes, or maybe a few single-family and townhomes and duplexes.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Reardon.
final comment. Really appreciate the presentation and all the work ahead of time to know what our rules are and to come in under a lot of the requirements, which is great, because you know, we see people going the other way a lot, trying to push our boundaries and, you know, trying to change our rules and things like that. So to recognize where we're trying to go as a community and to come in, you know, with seeing that all the way from the beginning we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Compass.
So similar to Trustee Reardon's comments, when we have a special use and it's to reduce density, I appreciate that, because clearly you've been paying attention to the last couple of meetings. Well, a quick question to staff, though. I know we don't have a contingency in here with regards to the detention capacity. I'm assuming that all the final engineering is baked into this if we have to mitigate that with additional depth.
There's no variances requested, so they have to meet whatever the rules are. So if they can't make it, they have to make it happen before they're allowed to do anything. Is that correct? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and the only special use and variance here is lot width.
Lot width, yeah.
And when you look at the shape of the, if you want to put the shape of the site, if you look at that shape being so narrow, to get the number of homes, which are still under our density, they're going to have to be deeper lots and not as wide. I mean, that makes sense because of the shape of the property itself. So I'm more than willing to trade that off for the open space and for all of the other things. And you know, the people who choose to live there, they just know that they've got less frontage.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
just one last question. You had mentioned about an HOA. Will there be an HOA fee for every resident there? And if so, what would that cover?
There will be. So the HOA covers maintenance of the outlots and maintenance of the trail. Again, the playground will be dedicated over, but the roads will be public. The monument sign, it will cover the monument sign, but this one, it's and the detention ponds. That's the last one.
So it's the usual. It's the pond. It's everything but the park, and of course the roads, and storm sewer and water, obviously. But all of the maintenance of the open space and the pond and everything else. Great.
Thank you. Chairman. I just want to say thank you, too. A very good presentation, very thorough. And again, thank you for showing respect to our rules, because we came off of one that didn't. So we appreciate that.
And Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Milani.
I agree with what everybody else just said, first of all. And second, just to confirm, this will not attach Ravinia to 160 whatever.
No, that'll come with the development of the 159th and LaGrange property.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, because I know that's been a concern with people for quite some time, so.
Yeah, and that, just so everyone on the board knows and the public knows, the LaGrange Road intersection there is already built. We just have to pay for a light and connect the road. I mean, that's basically it. So it's all set up and ready to go for a light. It's just that, so so that is actually ready. It's just we have to connect it.
Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, some of the questions I heard was the water flow issue, and you know, I looked at it. It's like 10 to 13 feet lower than the townhome, so pretty not too worried about it. So I know some people didn't continue to argue about that the other night, and I'm like, well, water doesn't go uphill. So you should be good there. Traffic, obviously, we've already identified, it's unbelievably light. I also heard some people talking about semi-trucks. I'm like, I can't see a semi-truck ever going through any of those neighborhoods. So this is a really good project. It meets our density, it meets our minimum lot size requirements. I think, and then you combine this with the potential project on the corner of 159th and LaGrange. I think it's great for that whole area there that, obviously is not developed yet and needs to be. So we appreciate it. Thank you. Call a roll.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Campus.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I'm just making sure I don't have a duplicate here. Okay. Yeah. Next item, Estates at Ravinia Meadows Subdivision.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
regarding case number 2025-0112, also known as Estates at Ravinia Meadows Subdivision, I move to approve the preliminary plat of subdivision for Estates at Ravinia Meadows, sheets 1 to 2, prepared by Semcon Inc., last revised December 6, 2024, subject to the final copy of the plat being printed on Mylar and submitted to the village with all non-village related signatures ready for recording at the Cook County Recorder of Deeds Office, and authorize staff to execute and record the plat.
Second.
Any comments? Call a roll.
Trustee Campus.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Resolution protesting and objecting to the special use for a planned development of an automobile holding facility.
Mr. Mayor?
Chairman.
Trustee Reardon or Trustee Healy? I couldn't hear what the rest.
Healy.
Trustee Healy.
I move to pass a resolution entitled Resolution Protesting and Objecting to the Zoning Relief Special Use requested for property commonly known as 17101 South Wolf Road, Orland Township, Cook County, Illinois.
Second.
And could staff bring up a picture of a Google map of that property? And,
I don't have the Google map, but we have the comp plan in here because we were talking about the objection, but it's the.
Can we blow?
Yeah, move the cursor around.
Well,
Yeah, it's the blue rectangle right there. So this is just north of the parcel that we annexed of our own, which is just north of the El Cortez, former El Cortez restaurant.
this is the bus?
It's the bus, right. It was most recently used as a bus.
As a
company.
bus term, okay, right. So, just so everybody has, any comments from anyone?
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
I'm glad you put together this ordinance. You know, a lot of people live in that area, particularly Brook Hills is across the street, just to the south of there. People have lived there a long time, put a lot of money into their homes. And of course, the new McNaughton project just to the north of there. To have a junkyard full of cars on that side of Wolf Road, it just cannot happen. It's not fair to the residents, it's not fair to the village, and I appreciate everyone's effort putting in this resolution.
We agree that it can't happen, but it's Cook County and it's unincorporated, so we can't control it. All we can do is object. So, and we remember and recall what Will County did, thanks to our representative, Representative Balich, put a semi-truck storage, and they changed zoning from R1 to I2 after we objected, against our objection and Mokina's. So that's just so everyone knows that was Representative Balich that did that. So keep that in mind when you live over there, and that's part of his, that Wolf Road area there that we vote on. So very not happy about that one, but this one, we're going to do everything we can to stop. It'd be one thing if he would have opposed it and the rest of the board had done it in Will County, but he didn't. And I know that Commissioner Morrison supports us on this and does not want to see that either. Hopefully the rest of his commissioners listen.
Mr. Mayor, do we have any annexation plans on this property?
So we would like to annex that whole area, I think, eventually, because of a lot of the stuff we've
Yeah,
talked about. But
yeah.
as you can see, it's
El
bigger
Cortez,
than,
the
it's bigger
black
than
building.
60, it's bigger than 60 acres. We have a lot of plans, with a lot of things we're working on that some of them we can't really discuss.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we're trying to do to that area, so we know that it needs to be cleaned up. The previous board knew that it needed to be cleaned up. They just weren't doing anything about it. We're actually trying to take some action.
This is an exact example of, when people come in here and talk about our overreach about annexation, this is the kind of thing we're talking about, is so that
Correct.
we can, have some control over what happens in these areas, right?
Yeah, and make no mistake, it's exactly as Trustee Katsina said, it's a junkyard
Yeah.
going in there. It doesn't belong there. Any other comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Campus.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Ordinance approving amendments to an intergovernmental agreement by and between this village and the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, and adoption of the MWRDGC's Watershed Management Ordinance amendments by reference.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Radiszewski.
I move to adopt an ordinance entitled Ordinance Approving Amendments to the Intergovernmental Agreement by and between this village and the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, MWRDGC, providing for the authority of the village to administer the Watershed Management Ordinance of the MWRDGC and adoption of the said Watershed Management Ordinance amendments by reference.
Second.
Any comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Campus.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
143rd Street widening from Wolf Road to Southwest Highway. Request to IDOT for right-of-way acquisitions through the Quick Take Authority.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Reardon.
move to approve and authorize a formal request from the village to IDOT for assistance with right-of-way acquisitions for the 143rd Street project through the Quick Take Authority in substantially the form attached to this staff report, and authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review.
Second.
And Krishi, almost all this acquisition is going on the north side, is that correct?
That is correct, Mayor.
So it's mostly forest preserve?
No, these are all private properties, Mayor. So we're talking at, so northwest of 143rd and Southwest Highway, like the funeral home and all that.
Okay, all right,
Park School and,
Yes.
yeah.
okay,
Yes.
great.
Sorry, did we have a second for that?
Any other comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas. Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Campus.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Orland Park Health and Fitness Center Mechanical Systems Preventative Maintenance Services.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
move to approve and authorize the execution of a professional services agreement between the Village of Orland and Midwest Mechanical for mechanical equipment preventative maintenance services consistent with, quote, RQN 2025-012-700 at a not-to-exceed contract price of $29,100 for an initial term of 12 months, and to authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
Joel, did we not just get new equipment for there? I mean, is this service of preventive maintenance for new equipment or?
The actual project will be kicking off later this year. So they'll have to do preventive maintenance for this year still. But even when we get new equipment, we still do PM. Preventive maintenance is putting filters in, checking belts, greasing fittings, that kind of stuff continues on for other years, especially after we get something new. We don't want it to degrade faster. So that will have to kick in another contract. We're just doing this for 1 year initially, and then we'll get the new equipment going, and then we'll get a new price for the new
Okay,
equipment.
so this is just to prevent.
Yep, to breakdowns.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Call roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Campus.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Orland Park Health and Fitness Center Keiser Spin Bike Sole Source Purchase.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy.
I move to approve the sole source goods-only contract with Keiser Corporation to purchase 23 Keiser Model 005509 BC indoor cycle M31 Studio Plus spin bikes at a cost not to exceed $53,300 as specified in a quote 004129 dated 11/13/24, and to authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review.
Second.
Any?
Mr. Mayor.
Trustee Reardon.
I will vote to approve this if we all get to do a charity event and watch Bill on one of these bikes for
You beat me to it.
for an 8-hour period. And we'll serve him food and beverages, but he's got to be on there for 8 hours. We'll raise a bunch of money for charity. What do you think?
Oh, I don't think it raises, might want to raise for my medical bill afterwards, so
I apologize.
it's okay.
Just having you read that was just sort of funny. I don't know.
Sorry, not sorry.
Any other comments?
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
say I hope our residents are using the Orland Park Health and Fitness, and I would strongly encourage you to sign up. As you can see, the village puts a lot of money into it. The equipment is all maintained, has new heating and cooling. So anything we can do to help people go over there and check it out, please do so.
Any other comments? I was just picturing Bill in his bicycle shorts on the on the spin bike. So, anyhow, any other comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Healy.
He's turning red.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon. Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Campus.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Yeah.
Amend Title VII, Chapter 4, Number of Class A Liquor Licenses Ordinance.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
I move to adopt an ordinance entitled, an ordinance amending Title VII, Chapter 4 of the Orland Park Municipal Code regarding the available number of liquor license issued by the Village of Orland Park, Cook, and Will Counties, Illinois.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Campus.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Resolution in support of Senate Bill 1313, affirming law enforcement coordination with federal immigration authorities.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Campus.
I move to pass a resolution entitled, "A Resolution in Support of Senate Bill 1313, Affirming Law Enforcement Coordination with Federal Immigration Authorities."
Second.
So I'm going to read the resolution. A resolution in support of Senate Bill 1313, affirming law enforcement coordination with federal immigration authorities, whereas on January 15th, 2024, so a little over a year ago, the Village of Orland Park adopted ordinance number 5868, formally declaring that it is not a sanctuary city and affirming its commitment to comply with federal immigration laws. And whereas the Village of Orland Park remains steadfast in its dedication to upholding the rule of law and ensuring the safety and security of its residents, and effective cooperation between local law enforcement and federal immigration authorities is essential in addressing criminal activity and enforcing existing immigration laws. And Illinois Senate Bill 1313 seeks to repeal the Illinois Trust Act, restore the ability of local and state law enforcement agencies to collaborate with the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, in cases involving undocumented individuals charged with criminal offenses, and the Illinois Trust Act currently restricts such collaboration, preventing law enforcement agencies from assisting federal authorities in enforcing immigration laws, thereby creating potential public safety risks. And the village rejects policies that prioritize political ideology over public safety and oppose any law that shields individuals with criminal records from lawful detention and removal. And the Village of Orland Park supports local law enforcement's discretion to cooperate with federal immigration authorities as they deem necessary to protect the community free from state-imposed restrictions. And the village prioritizes the safety of its residents and recognizes that law enforcement must have the necessary tools to address crime effectively without artificial legal restrictions that impede cooperation. And the Village of Orland Park supports policies that empower state and local enforcement to work in partnership with federal agencies to identify and remove individuals who pose a threat to public safety. And safeguarding the well-being of Orland Park residents is a top priority, and eliminating unnecessary barriers to law enforcement cooperation is essential to achieving this goal. Now therefore be it resolved by the President and Board of Trustees of the Village of Orland Park, Cook and Will Counties, Illinois as follows. Section 1, formal support of Senate Bill 1313. The Village of Orland Park strongly supports the passage of Senate Bill 1313, which mandates law enforcement agencies to coordinate with ICE in enforcing immigration laws and removing individuals who present a risk to public safety. Section 2, reaffirmation of non-sanctuary status. The Village of Orland Park reaffirms its position as established in Ordinance number 5868. It is not a sanctuary city and opposes any state or local policies that obstruct or limit cooperation with federal immigration authorities. Section 3, commitment to public safety. The village urges members of the Illinois General Assembly to pass Senate Bill 1313 to enhance coordination among local, state, and federal agencies in protecting Illinois communities from criminal activity. Section 4, distribution of resolution. The village clerk is directed to forward a copy of this resolution to Governor J.B. Pritzker, the leadership of the Illinois General Assembly, and other relevant state officials to advocate for the repeal of the Illinois Trust Act and enactment of Senate Bill 1313, and all of our reps and senators. Any comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Healy.
This law has been in place, the law against ICE has been in place by the state of Illinois for a long time. And it goes to show you that electing bad people can produce bad laws that help bad guys. And this is this is just an embarrassment to live in a state that doesn't support the ICE and doing everything humanly possible to put criminals behind bars. This legislation is just so much common sense that it's hard to believe anybody could object to it. So I support this legislation, and I hope somehow it makes a difference and that we get this legislation changed. We try and do everything we can for our police with new weaponry, new cars, new police things. I don't know if it's appreciated, but we try and give them everything that we have possible. And it's just insane that this law goes against trying to do everything you can to put criminals behind bars. So I hope someone takes heed of our resolution and helps pass the bill.
Mr. Mayor.
Trustee Reardon.
Yeah, just to echo that, it seems like some of our leaders in our state and our county and the city of Chicago, they continue to, force our law enforcement to do their jobs with one hand tied behind their back at all times. They can't communicate, they can't coordinate. This is just another example. So I wholeheartedly, and again, if you read the resolution, it's criminals. It's people not doing, not coming here in the manner in which the law sets out. There are people who do it right, and it takes a long time, but they persevere and they do it the right way. And you are completely, throwing it in their face. The people who come here the way that they're supposed to, they go through the legal process to protect criminals it's asinine.
Any other comments? So during the migrant crisis, we passed an ordinance making it clear that the Village of Orland Park is not a sanctuary city. This is what we mentioned here, Ordinance 5868. Our policy ensures full cooperation with federal authorities, and we've called on the state of Illinois and Cook County to uphold federal immigration laws by ending their so-called sanctuary status. It is unacceptable for the state and the county to place the Village of Orland Park, our police officers, and our residents in direct conflict with federal authorities. I firmly believe, as does the board, that federal law supersedes state laws in matters of immigration, especially given that Illinois doesn't even share a foreign border. Therefore, the Village of Orland Park will continue to follow federal law and work alongside our federal law enforcement partners, including ICE. I fully support the newly introduced bill that seeks to end the state sanctuary status and requires Illinois law enforcement to cooperate with federal authorities. This is a necessary step toward restoring law and order. Call the roll.
Trustee Campos.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Do we have any non-scheduled citizens and visitors for public comment on items relevant to village business?
So please make sure that you state your name. You have 3 minutes. It's not a debate with the members of the board. You have 3 minutes to make your comments, and then typically the board does not comment. They can if they choose, but it's not back and forth.
My name is Julie Donovan. Good evening, Mayor and Board of Trustees. I was reviewing the agenda for this meeting, and I was shocked to see nothing under the finance section. I wanted to speak to my fellow taxpayers and remind them of some things, and if anyone would like to provide an update on any of my concerns, that would be greatly appreciated. Currently, the Village of Orland Park is considered non-compliant by the Illinois Comptroller due to the 2023 financials not being audited and filed with the state. The Illinois Comptroller is now withholding offset funding from the Village of Orland Park until the 2023 audit is filed. One of the reasons given for the delay in filing the 2022 audit was several staff leaving and losing institutional knowledge. I noticed many finance positions were vacated in 2024, and this has continued into 2025. I would like some assurance that this most recent staffing change will not cause any further delays with the 2023 audit or the 2024 audit. I would also like an update on the 2023 audit and the expected completion date. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Like I said, I normally don't comment on these, but ma'am, you were also here at my mayor's breakfast. You asked the same question, and I think I answered it for about 10 or 15 minutes. So I encourage anyone to go to the mayor's breakfast meeting and watch the entire discussion. So all of these same questions were asked just, 10 days ago. So there's been no status change to that, so please go watch that. And I encourage you to watch that whole meeting because it's about an hour and 45 minutes of a lot of good questions about the Village of Orland Park. Anybody else here to speak? Okay.
Board comments.
Board comments. Trustee Campos.
So this past month certainly demonstrates that Orland Park continues to be a thriving destination for businesses. This reinforces our reputation as a strong and growing community. This past weekend, we welcomed Steinhoffels to Orland Park with their grand opening, transforming 2 previously vacant units into 99,000 square feet of new retail space. Even before their official grand opening, Steinhoffels saw record-breaking first-month earnings during their soft launch over the holidays. This is a testament to the strength of our local market and the demand for high-quality retail in Orland Park. This week, we will also celebrate the much-anticipated opening of Pete's Fresh Market, bringing a high-quality grocery store known for its fresh produce, expansive selection, and excellent customer service to Orland Park. Pete's Fresh Market fills a long vacant commercial space and provides residents with even more options for fresh groceries. This addition not only enhances convenience for shoppers, but also contributes to local job growth and further strengthens our economy. And additionally, Portillo's new drive-through and to-go concept at Orland Square Drive is now open, as I know many of you already are aware. offering a streamlined experience for customers. None of this happens without careful planning, collaboration, and execution. I want to take a moment to thank our planners within the Development Services team and the whole Development Services team for their dedication and hard work to bringing these projects to life. I know for a couple of these, it's been a couple years in the making. So their efforts ensure that Orland Park continues to grow in a way that benefits businesses, residents, and in fact, our entire community. Thank you to everyone who plays a role in making Orland Park a great place to live, work, and do business. Thank you.
Trustee Malani.
Yeah, not only Steinhoffel's, but my wife over the past couple weeks has taken me to every furniture store in Orland Park, so you definitely have your choices. But yeah, I mean, what Trustee Campos is saying, it's like we continuously bring new, businesses to Orland Park that people want, and I think that's, just shows, what we do here is, in the best interest of the village. And not only that, we have, 120 plus new homes coming in now to, right at Ravinia Meadows there. So I think that'll bring a bunch of people that are going to want to come and shop at those stores. So, thank you for working on that with staff and with Pulte. I think that, just shows that we're dedicated to, bringing new homes and things like that to Orland Park. One other thing I want to call out really quick, Special Recreation, the Owls basketball teams, 4 of them competed in the Special Olympics basketball tournament on Sunday, the 26th, and they received a 2nd, 4th, 3rd, and 3rd place medal. So congratulations to the participants and the athletes, but most importantly, thank you to all the staff and volunteers that participate in those events. Thank you.
Trustee Katsinas.
I too wanted to share Trustee Campus's welcoming to Steinhoffel Furniture Store. If you haven't been in there, I would strongly encourage you to do so. They have some really, really neat pieces, nice lighting, artwork, in addition to furniture. And also too, welcome to Pete's Market. I think the grand opening's Wednesday morning. And it was so neat on Facebook and social media to see the buzz about it and the excitement over a grocery store. Is that wonderful? What a great business they've built. So just wanted to say thank you and to welcome to Pulte back to Orland Park. It's been a 20-year gap and they're back in with 132 single-family homes. Thank you.
Trustee Radiszewski. Oh, that was nice. That's good. Trustee Radiszewski. I was
I
pulling
second
something
what
up
Sean
on.
said. Makes you really proud to live in Orland Park. We pass resolutions, we support our police department. We really take safety of the residents. It's a high priority. So I think it's wonderful. And just hearing, Pulte's presentation today and the houses, all the different, styles that they're bringing in. Of course, I would like the ranch, but the single-family homes are wonderful, and they have a lot of nice options. I appreciate them coming in and doing a presentation. And it's nice that, Orland Park, it has a lot of options. So you have some older homes, you have newer homes, single-family, and there's a lot of different variety here. I do want to thank the staff for working with them. I do appreciate all of your efforts. And I guess that's it. Happy Black
Great.
History Month.
Great, thanks. Thank you very much. The music was not for naught. I was actually looking something up that Trustee Katsinas said. So yesterday I got a sneak peek. I'm going to jump the gun just a little bit, just one quick thing. I got a sneak peek at Steinhoffel's yesterday. I was invited, or not Steinhoffel's, at Pete's Fresh Market yesterday. I snapped some pictures while I was inside, like 4 or 5 of them. I posted them on Facebook last night at midnight, or 11 o'clock. 79,000 people have already seen it.
Wow.
So to her point. So I wasn't making noise just for the hell of it. I was actually looking up something. So, but that's to her point of people being really excited over a grocery store. That's just crazy to see that. So.
Been long waited.
Yeah. Trustee Healy.
Mr. Mayor, I'm excited by this Ravinia Meadow development that we passed tonight. They gave a great presentation. They brought their whole crowd out, and best of all, they were within our own building codes, or for the most part. And that's, it's wonderful to see. It's great to see Orland as a destination for home buyers, and we'd like to keep up the movement of homeowners in this neighborhood. But I think it's a great signal toward everybody about Orland Park, so thanks.
Trustee Reardon.
I'll just quote the political quote that everything's been said, but not everyone has said it. So I'll let it be that you guys have all done a great job. So have a good night.
So my closing comments, like everyone, I extend my deepest condolences to the friends and families who lost loved ones in the plane crashes at Reagan National and in Philadelphia. On Thursday afternoon last week, I happened to have a flight to Reagan National, where I witnessed firsthand the recovery efforts as well as the media frenzy surrounding the tragedy. I was in town for a Friday funeral at Arlington National Cemetery of my friend and colleague Dan Chewy Bakke. He was a warrior, a hero, and a gentleman. As an instructor weapons system officer in my first operational unit, he was the one we all aspired to be. His skill and professionalism set the standard for all of us young wizzos. Chewy and his pilot, Tim Bennett, hold the distinction of scoring the only air-to-air kill in the F-15E, an extraordinary feat achieved with a laser-guided bomb on the second night of the Gulf War. They blew a helicopter out of the air with a laser-guided bomb. Their actions saved the lives of dozens of Special Forces members, and an incredible moment in military history, only time that's ever happened, that I encourage you to look up. It's easy to find. He was also in another aircraft the night of my first combat mission, a mission where we had to rely on contingency plans, executing maneuvers that had been practiced but never actually performed with live weapons in real combat. Afterward, Chewy, the person I respected most in my profession, patted me on the back and simply said, "That was good work." That moment has stayed with me. On Friday, Chewy was laid to rest with full military honors, nickel on the grass. I share this story for two reasons. First, if you haven't been to Arlington National Cemetery, add it to your bucket list. We must never forget those who gave everything or risked everything to keep us free. Second, never underestimate the impact you can have on others. A life well lived leaves a profound and lasting mark. Now on to Orland Park. Orland continues to lead the region in economic growth. Last Friday, Trustee Compass represented me at the ribbon cutting at Steinhoffel's, like he said. This Wednesday, Pete's Fresh Market will celebrate its grand opening. I had the opportunity, as I spoke, to get a sneak peek on Sunday, and the store is truly impressive. Tonight, we approved a new residential development with 132 single-family homes. Over the past several years, we've seen increases in duplexes, townhomes, and multifamily housing, but this is the first project featuring only single-family homes. Given the limited housing inventory on the market, it's great to see this addition to our community. In the last 4 years, Orland Park has... What the hell was that? In the last 4 years, Orland Park has progressed tremendously, and I look forward to seeing this continue in the coming years. Thank you very much, and with that, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
I move to go into executive session for A, discussion on the minutes of closed meetings, B, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performances, or dismissal of specific village employees, C, pending litigation against, affecting, or on behalf of the village, or when found by the board that such action is probable or imminent.
Second.
Call a roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye. We'll enter executive session. It's been a while. I would tell the press that we're not coming back out, but there's no press here. So we won't be coming out for a vote, so no one has to hang out and wait for more video to be broadcast. Thank you very much.